Everyone knows that a proper posture, a good stance is essential in every sport. But frankly speaking, do you know how a good posture looks like? And what do you think about your posture? Is it good, fine, or do you have some bigger or smaller postural problems? First of all, we have to know that the posture is not a simple, passive, straight standing. The posture is a controlled behavior of the body driven by active muscle tension. When we look at the human body as a mechanical structure, the core of this construction is the pelvis and the spine. When the body would be a straight beam like this one, it would be a very strong construction. We can push it from the top or from the bottom, nothing happens. But there is a problem with this form. It doesn't absorb the shocks from the ground. That's why the evolution designed the spine with some curvatures. The three important parts of the spine is the pelvis and the lumbar area, the thoracic area, and the cervical curvature. Under pressure, the curved spine collapses easily. To be stable, the spine needs the help of the muscles. When the muscles are weak or tired, the spine weak too. The bones doesn't have memory, but the muscular system is able to remember. When we learn bad motor habits, it will control the spine in the bad way. When we take a look at this posture, the most prominent part is the thoracic area. When somebody is hunchback, we will see it for the first sight. But mostly, it isn't the biggest problem. It's only the most obvious. There are other bigger problems in the background. First of all, let's take a look at the lower part of the spine. The pelvis and the lumbar spine works together. They cannot be separated. When the pelvis moves, the spine will follow it. When it moves forward, this is the anterior pelvic tilt, the lumbar spine will be too arched. When it moves backward, posterior pelvic tilt, it will be too straight. The base of the whole spine is the pelvis. When we are looking for some solution to stabilize the spine, especially the lumbar part, it's easier to stabilize the pelvis and not the spine itself. To stabilize the pelvis, we have to engage the glutes and the abs. When the glutes are weak or tired, the pelvis would be not stable. This is a problem in sitting, because in sitting we don't need a higher muscle tension from the glutes and the abs, and the pelvis becomes unstable. It's especially bad in the gym because we have a lot of workouts in sitting position. To have a stable pelvis, we have to learn to preserve some muscle tension in the glutes and the abs. It is very important in the gym, in the school, in the office, to learn this habit. The pelvis should be stable not only in stance, but in every form of the movement. Running, walking, skiing, etc. The legs should be moved independently from the pelvis. When the movement of the legs can affect the pelvis, the whole body becomes unstable, the movement will be less effective and less precise. So the most important task for a stable posture, to have a stable pelvis, which is not rotating, not twisting, not tilting all the time. The next part is the thoracic area. To stabilize the thoracic area, we don't need to use all the back muscles, because some of them affecting a larger arch in the lumbar area. Maybe the most important are the rhomboid muscles. The best way to engage the rhomboid muscles is pulling down and closing the shoulder blades. It's very important not pulling back, it's only pulling down and closing them. The next complex part is the neck and the head, which also moves together. The reasons of the problems of this area are partially based on civilizational habits, partially on the balance and the spatial orientation. It's also very important to know that the head will follow the gaze. When we look down, we lower the head. When we look up, we lift the head. First of all, let's take a look at the civilizational reasons. Maybe you recognized already that these screens are pretty high on this platform here, and my notebook is on the desk. When I look at these screens, they are in my eye level. I can hold my head in the natural position, but when I look at the notebook, I have to lower my head. There is a clear difference, the two postures when I look there or there. That's why it's a good idea to build a small platform from the notebooks and not placing on the desk. It's much healthier to get it here. The situation is the same in the case of mobile phones, because we hold the mobile phone pretty low before of the torso. That's why we have to lower the head too. When we lift up the phone in the eye level, it's much more healthier, but it's very uncomfortable. Another reason for a bad posture is the need for balance. During walking, running, skiing, we are looking on the ground because we would like to know where we will step or how the snow conditions are before us. It's better to lift up the gaze, looking far away and only checking with the peripheral side the ground. It can be another problem as well when we correct our head position with a simple back turning movement. We make a too big arch in the neck. It's better to correct it with the pulling back of the chin. In summary, to have a proper posture, we have to focus on 3 key points. First is the pelvis, to have a stable pelvis near to the anatomic position, preventing any unnecessary movement. Second is the thoracic area, stabilizing with the rhomboid muscles, pulling down and closing the shoulder blades. And third is the cervical area, pulling back the chin and lifting up the gaze. It's not enough to know how a good posture looks like. We have to use it. And how can we learn to use it? First of all, we have to learn a good postural habit in stance, then transfer it in sitting, because in sitting, the position of the pelvis and the spine is the same, only the position of the lower limb is different. Then we have to learn to adapt it in the natural movement, like walking and running. Because of the gait cycle, there is some asymmetry. Then we have to learn how to preserve it under higher loads, like in the gym workouts. And at the end, we have to adapt and manage it in the complex motions like the skiing. So go ahead, go in the gym, let's start the workouts, or visit us on the ski slopes.